everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot. And it is Mad World Tarot this morning. It's a Saturday morning. We're about to jump on a plane. I'm trying to do some readings before we go away for a week and have a bit of a break. We're going somewhere quite remote where the internet connection is pretty wonky, so not sure how much I'll be able to do while I'm away, even though I'm quite in the mood to do tarot readings and the cards will be going with me. But energy this morning is wild, and it's wild when it comes to Harry and Meghan and their children. And so, a bit of a wonky camera angle, I'm going to look now with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot at the story that Richard Eden broke about the Spencer surname, but in the way he's subsequently elaborated on that story. And it all boils down to Harry and Meghan applying for UK passports for their children some years ago, I assume, when Lily was born, however and wherever she was born, and the delay in issuing the passport, which led to Harry becoming increasingly suspicious, according to Richard Eden, suspicious that the royals were trying to block the children from having UK passports, or the British government or the establishment. It was another establishment stitch-up, according to Richard Eden's source. This was Harry's rather paranoid thinking. And that's why he trotted along to Uncle Charles and said, how about we become Spencers? Then they can't stop us having passports, can they? Or our children. And Uncle Charles said, bad idea. Don't want you to be Spencers. No, he didn't say that, but you get the drift. Apparently, the interesting part of this, and where I'm heading with this reading now, is that Harry wanted the children to be described as HRH in their passports. He wanted them to have that style or title or whatever it is, so that they could become full-time working royals later on, if they felt like it, that the option of being full-time working royals would be open to them. And this is mind-boggling. I nearly fell over when I heard this. This was Richard Eden on Palace Confidential. He broke this Spencer story, which has caused some distress in royal circles, apparently. Mind-boggling to me that Harry, having left or been dragged away by the claw to California, having quit his family, abandoned them in their hour of need. Prince Philip had just passed away and the Queen was very, very ill. And off he went to seek his fortune in California, traduced them in Spare, had only nasty things to say about them on Oprah, and then that nasty little plastic person's book Endgame, and whatever else. I've lost track of all the terrible things that he said and done and accused his family of. But no, wants his children to have their HRHs and be working royals one day in the fullness of time. Mind-boggling. So we're going to do a quick little reading with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, and we're going to ask about his suspicions around the passport delay. It was at the time of COVID, and so there were obviously delays in processing these kinds of things. A very simple explanation, not one Harry was buying though. And we're going to ask about his desire for them to be working royals. We're going to ask about his failure to grasp the enormity of his own, shall we say, sins. It's a very strong word. His own rejection of the family and how that must have gone down. The hypocrisy of wanting his children to have the option of being working royals when he has spent the last almost 7 years telling us what a terrible thing it is to be a working royal, what a trap it is. But he's not trapped in the institution. He's found his freedom. He went on that freedom flight. As I say, it's mind-boggling. And then we're going to ask the royal family's view of Archie and Lily one day being working royals. How do they see that going? And then we're going to ask, would they ever be such things as working royals? The strange things have happened, of course, in the royal world, but this would be pretty strange. Anyway, this is tarot for fun and entertainment, and it is all my opinion and all speculation. Just read energy here and disclaimer in the box below. No, that's right. 6 card reading. Underline. Ooh, there's the mix-it card. 7 of Swords, and it's in reverse, wanting to unmix it, wanting to come sneaking back. Slippery, isn't it? Get my kids the passport, put the HRHs in the passport, and then they can come back, and then I'll sneak in too. Interesting energy as the underlying energy. Disappearing. It's my coward card, the 7 of Swords. Disappearing, sneaking off, and abandoning people, or worse. It can be much worse. It's the Thief card in tarot traditionally, and then kind of, oh no, well, that didn't work out so well, so I'm going to come crawling back. I'm not going to apologize, not going to confess, not going to anything, but let's make sure that the kids get in as full-time working royals. There are no full-time working royals. The cousins aren't. Nobody is. Only William and Catherine, and possibly George. I doubt very much that the others are going to be full-time working royals. I don't think that's how the royal family is going to work. Charlotte and Louis. I doubt that very much. It's not how other royal families work in this modern world either. But there has been. He's wanting that in. He's wanting back in. Okay, situation. This passport saga and the HRHs. King of Wands in reverse. That's Harry's energy very much. And that's him having a strop. Because it's an angry energy, the King of Wands in reverse. And it's making drama over nothing. So the King of Wands has got a very short fuse, especially when he's in reverse. Getting irritated, getting annoyed, stamping his little foot, his little petulant foot, and saying, where are those passports? We sent the paperwork in this morning. The passports should have been delivered by a footman on a sort of velvet cushion. You can just imagine the level of entitlement that is in that King of Wands in reverse for me as a tarot reader. So let's see what he actually thought about this delay, because Richard Eden was too polite to use the word paranoid. He called it an establishment stitch-up. That's what Harry thought. I used the word paranoid. So what did Harry actually think about this delay? Oh, charging. It should have happened post-haste. The Knight of Swords is the speedy card. This is the rushing in where angels fear to tread. The Knight of Swords, very swift. He believed that it should have been an instant grant of the passports. As I say, they should have been delivered, I'm assuming, because they were in California, that in some sort of diplomatic, what are those things that they have, pouch or something, that it would have been delivered to Montecito pretty much, with, the footman and those little socks with the little things tied around to keep the socks up and all that stuff. That's the Knight of Swords. He got very angry very quickly, and he got the lawyers, and he started writing letters, and he started phoning people. There's no patience in that energy. There's no understanding of the context of what was going on. It's just, it must happen now, and why isn't it happening? And I'm going to do something about it, because it's rushing blindly into some sort of situation. The Knight of Swords. Not usually it's described as an intelligent card, but I'm not getting much intelligence in this Knight of Swords. Just me, in my opinion, me reading energy, of course, for fun and entertainment. How about Harry wanting his children to be working royals? Just generally his notion that if they've got their HRHs and their passports, this can happen. This desire of his to have this. Oh yes, it's not because of wanting them to serve, I would say. It's the card of charity and service, the Six of Pentacles, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting sharing. What is their due? So if George and Charlotte and Louis are going to be full-time working royals, then so jolly well are Archie and Lily. Even when you've called your children after cartoons, in Archie's case. But no, they're going to be working royals now, because it's their right, it's their entitlement, it's only what is their due. That's how the Six of Pentacles is reading for me. And then they can go and cut ribbons and do all the stuff that he rejected and Meghan rejected. Couldn't be bothered to do that. Too boring, not fancy enough, weren't getting half the duchy, but perhaps, Duchy of Cornwall, sorry, perhaps this way, the Seven of Swords in reverse, we can get our hands on some of the loot. That's how that Six of Pentacles is reading for me. It's making me quite irate, which is a good thing because it's kind of waking me up. I needed to be woken up a bit this morning. So let us move on to any awareness on Harry's part of the sort of outrage that other people might be experiencing as a result of this. I want my kids to be full-time working royals one day, or at least have the option. When he ditched the royals, he denounced life as a working royal. He was so rude about it. He was so ungrateful about it, so dismissive. Any sense of not really. The Hermit is Harry, the Virgo self, the Hermit. And the Hermit is supposed to be a wise person and an insightful person, and someone who's capable of soul searching and finding hidden meanings and truths, and leading the way for others. But it's in reverse, which just gives me, and it's sitting under the King of Wands in reverse. He's giving me somebody who just doesn't see the light. Somebody who's not capable of that level of introspection or self-analysis or even self-criticism, just can't do it. And also might be listening, because the Hermit is also the advisor card in the tarot. It might be listening to wrong advice or wrong input from someone else. I wonder who that could be. It's a mystery, isn't it? So, no, in a word, he's not capable, in my opinion, of that level of reflection and insight. That's how I'm reading that card. My reading, my opinion. How about the royals? How do they feel? I'm sure that they are aware of what went on with this whole Spencer saga and the HRHs, and come back as full-time royals one day through the guise of the children, through the back door, basically. Seven of Swords in reverse. How do the royals feel about having Archie and Lily as full-time working royals one day? Just something that, ooh. Well, it is a working card, interestingly. So it's not coming across as hell no, hell will freeze over before this happens. How it's reading for me, though, my reading, my opinion, is that they see it as a kind of grift. That if the Parkles run out of money one day, as they're bound to pretty much, having failed signally to achieve anything useful in the time that they have been in California with those huge deals, then how very useful to have your children on the royal payroll as full-time working royals at the taxpayer's expense, basically. And the parents can come and grift and get a nice apartment at Kensington Palace and, show up, trooping the colour, all that sort of stuff. On the taxpayer's dime, it's really coming through for me as the taxpayer's dime. It's reading with the Six of Pentacles, which is coming through for me as totally entitled and just really looking after themselves. It's not reading as what a fine idea it would be for our children to develop a notion of service. Of course, they're so privileged. They could do so much good in the world with access to their royal connections and all that stuff. That's not how this story is reading at all. And it's not how the cards are reading for me as an energy reader, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. Are the children going to come back as working royals? As I say, stranger things have happened. There's a dwindling royal family out there. Any chance? We are going to look at it properly. I've got a no. I've got a Queen of Cups and it's in reverse. And it might be that Mama in Montecito is rather disappointed that this doesn't quite work out with that Queen of Cups. And that Harry also is disappointed because it would have been and Lilibet Diana Spencer, Princess Lilibet Diana Spencer, as a working royal, would have, maybe he believes, and this is quite a stretch for me, and I'm not a psychologist, so as I say, it is a stretch, but this is my wild speculation. Maybe he feels at some level that if, particularly Lily, the golden child, particularly Lily, were to be a full-time working royal, it would somehow finally heal the wound, the Mummy Diana wound. And again, that's a real stretch. So make of that what you will. But that is how it's showing up for me as a tarot reader. And it's a no, though. It's no. So there it is. Strange little reading, strange little story. That's why the tarot cards are going with me on holiday and might have to come out of the suitcase at some stage, and then we might have to get an old dial-up modem and try and crank up and connect with the outside world. We shall see. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.